Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahman. Welcome, students, to this new class. आज का जो चैप्टर है ये है द हैप्पी प्रिंस। इसको लिखने वाला ऑस्कर वाइल्ड है, चूँकि आपकी किताब की 22nd चैप्टर है, लेसन है, इसको हम करेंगे आज। Okay. The Happy Prince. Oscar Wilde was an Irish-born writer and a novelist, playwright, poet, critic. He was born on October 16, 1854 in Dublin and educated at Trinity College. Dublin is the capital of, Ireland. So he was born there. अब लिखा क्या है इसने? नॉवेल्स लिखी हैं, बड़ा ही मस्त टाइप ऑफ राइटर है, बहुत ही थॉट प्रोवोकिंग टाइप ऑफ राइटर है। ये नॉवेलिस्ट है, क्रिटिक है, पॉइट भी है। तो ज़रा चलते हैं आज वाली स्टोरी पे। आज क्या लिखा है इसमें? High above the city, on a tall column, stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was glided all over with thin leaves of fine gold. For eyes he had two bright sapphires and a large red ruby glowed on his sword hilt. One night there flew over the sea a little swallow. His friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before, but he had stayed behind. When he decided to go to Egypt too, all day long he flew, and at night he arrived at the sea. "Where shall I put up?" he said. "I hope the town has made preparations." Then he saw the statue on the tall column. "I will put up there," he cried. "It's a fine position, with plenty of fresh air." So he alighted just between the feet of the Happy Prince. "I have a golden bedroom," he said softly to himself as he looked around, and he prepared to go to sleep. But just as he was putting his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. "What a curious thing!" he cried. "There is not a single cloud in the sky. The stars are quite clear and bright, and yet it's raining." Then another drop fell. What is the use of a statue if it can't keep the rain off?" he said. "I must look for a good chimney pot," and he determined to fly away. The eyes of the Happy Prince were filled with tears, and tears were running down his golden cheeks. His face was so beautiful in the moonlight that the little swallow was filled with pity. "Who are you?" he said. "Who are you?" he said. I'm the Happy Prince." "Why are you weeping then?" asked the swallow. "You have quite dressed." Okay. यहाँ तक पढ़ते हैं। This is a story in which the writer tries to give brief sketch of a city and the dead prince, who is already dead and who does not, who's not able to do anything, what he could do in his lifetime. So we will go through the lines. High above the city on a top column. Top column means it's a pillar-like structure, a beam-like structure that's very much vertical, and that's used to support something. So here It was a tall column, and a statue stood on it. On this tall column stood a statue of prince. Statue means मूर्ति. Statue, as the words are there on the board. स्टैचू का मतलब होता है कोई मूर्ति किसी any art, three dimensional art, structure, or skilled uh, structure of something. That's called statue. He was glided all over with thin leaves of gold. Who's glided? This happy prince. This happy, when we could say he was a happy prince. So at the same time, we may think that he was happy because all around him he was in gold. So हर उसके हर side से gold थी, और it was the leaves of the fine gold. The way his body was carved out, the way his body was chiseled, it was fine gold, fine gold. For eyes he had two bright sapphires. Again, लफ्ज़ जो आ रहा है इसमें सफारी sapphires आ रहे हैं, तो इसका मतलब होता है bright is always चमकीला, and sapphires is color related to a stone, or you see a gem. So sapphire is here, it's जो इसकी pronunciation sapphire है, और इसका मतलब होता है a clear deep blue variety of cardamom. So is and a large red ruby cloud on his sword hilt. There was a ruby that was glowing on the sword hilt. Hilt is clothing for sword, जिसको नियम कहते हैं उर्दू में, ठीक, नियम जिसको कहते हैं, जिसमें डालते हैं तलवार को, ठीक. One night there flew over the sea a little swallow. एक शाम की बात है जब यहाँ से एक चिड़िया गुजरती. Its friends had gone away to Egypt 6 weeks before. और इस चिड़िया के बाकी दोस्त तो पहले के 6 हफ्ते गए हुए थे इजिप्ट यानी मिस्र, ठीक. उसके बाद but he had stayed behind, और ये अकेला रह गया था पीछे. Then he decided to go to Egypt too. तो इसने भी सोचा कि मैं भी इजिप्ट जाऊँ. All day long he flew. पूरा दिन वो चलता रहा, पूरा दिन वो उड़ता रहा. And at night time he arrived the city. और शाम को ये इस सिटी में पहुंच जाता है. Then he saw the statue on the tall column. और उसने उसके बाद एक स्टैचू, एक मूर्ति देखी एक ऊपर वाले टावर पे, कॉलम पे, ठीक. Then I will put up there. Put up means to survive, or to live somewhere, or to be somewhere, stay somewhere for some time, to sojourn somewhere. यानी किसी टाइम तक कहीं पे बैठना, ना permanently नहीं बैठना, ठीक. Then he says, then he saw the statue on the top corner. उसके बाद I will put up there. मैं वहीं पे बैठता हूँ. Well, that's a fine place for me. That's a fine place for stay. So it's a fine position with plenty of fresh. Then he's thinking about the environment, he's thinking about the climate, he's thinking about the air conditions वगैरह. ये इस पे सोचता है और कहता है कि मैं वहीं पे क्यों ना बैठ जाऊँ. It's a very fine place, plenty of fresh air. Plenty means many, tremendous, in a large amount. So he alighted. Alight does not mean ऊपर जाना, alight means down जाना. तो नीचे आ गया, उतर गया, जिसको हम get off कहते हैं. Okay. So he alighted just between the feet of the happy prince. और ये इस happy prince के पैरों के नीचे आ गया. I have a golden bedroom. खुद से कह रहा है मुझे मेरा कमरा तो golden है, सोने के लिए मुझे बहुत अच्छी जगह. He said softly to himself as he looked around. इधर उधर देखा और खुद पे उसको तकबर होगी. सोचा कि मुझे इतनी अच्छी जगह किसी को मिल ही नहीं सकती. I'm a lucky one that I got it. And he prepared to go to sleep. अब सोने की तैयारी लग रहा है. But just as he was putting his head under his wing, a large drop of water fell on him. और अपने पंखों में, अपने पैरों में अपनी अपनी सर को डालने ही जा रहा था, तो उसको क्या हो गया, अ ड्रॉप ऑफ वाटर फेल ऑन हिम, ऊपर से एक कतरा पानी का कैसे इस पे गिरा। व्हाट अ क्यूरियस थिंग, ही क्राइड। ये क्या है, ही क्राइड। कहाँ से बारिश आ गई? There's not a single cloud in the city. ऊपर आसमान साफ है, it's almost clear. The stars are quiet, और तारे तो दिख रहे हैं, quite clear and bright, and yet it's raining. फिर भी बारिश कहाँ से आ रही थी? Then another drop fell. एक और drop पड़ जाता है, इसमें एक और कतरा पड़ जाता है. With the use of the statue, if it can't keep rain off. इसने कहा इस स्टैचू का क्या मतलब? जब मैं इसके नीचे आया था बैठने के लिए, आराम के लिए, तो मैं सोचा था मैं रैन से बच जाऊंगा, बट हेयर इट्स रैनिंग, एल्स फ्रॉम हेयर, कहीं पे रैन नहीं, यहाँ पे रैन. He said, I must look for a good chimney pot, and he determined to fly away. अभी किसी और चीज़ की तलाश में निकल रहा है, चिमनी में बैठने की तलाश में निकल रहा है, and he determined to fly away, और ये निकलने की तैयारी कर. शुक्रिया आज के लिए. इंशाल्लाह इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो विल डू द सेकंड प्रॉब्लम.